What's up, everybody? Welcome to PriceIsKing.com. Today we're going to be talking about dividends. I've gotten a question from a couple of people regarding which one makes sense. How do I go about investing in dividends? Because they just can't trade every single day like the way I can and like the way most of my fellow traders are doing. They can't day trade. They have a day job. They're not at a computer all day. They don't like trading on their mobile phones. So they want to think about investing for long term, not just for themselves, for their family, their kids. And so when I spoke to them, they asked me for advice. And I don't want to show this video to kind of give you advice on which ones to buy. I think you should talk to your financial advisor about which ones to buy and which ones you shouldn't buy, and your risk appetite and whatnot, right? So speak to them. I want to kind of just show you exactly what I use to track my dividends and when it's happening, and I'll share the link below to the website. I use a website called Dividend Tracker. It's very helpful to kind of track all the dividends in one place. I do have multiple accounts, and I didn't want to show my kids' accounts on the video, so I'll kind of give you an idea of where things stand from their perspective. Their accounts are very small, so because they're very young, right? They're not like 18-year-old or whatnot, right? They're under 10, and so I started young for them, so that by the time they're 18, they can have a decent portfolio, and then figure out what they want to do on their own, right? But anytime they get a gift from their grandmas or grandpas, and if they get gifts from other people, I showed them how to put it back into this and let it just grow instead of buying an $80 Nike or $80 t-shirt. I don't know why they're so expensive now, but anyways, back to dividends. So I use this tool called Dividend Tracker. Technically, I do my own research, so I suggest you do your own research. Your risk appetite may be different from my risk appetite. Your age may be different from my age, and your kid's age and whatnot. Your investment goals may be different. Talk to your financial advisor about what you want to do and whatnot. But what I like about this website is just kind of shows you and kind of makes it easier for you to visualize what things are in terms of dividends. Let's take a look at example Apple. It's one of the biggest things, and Warren Buffett is a big believer in just compounding, right? Compounding your interest and just letting it work, right? He's a big believer on that, and he's made a ton of money just on that idea of compounding, right? And one of the things I believe is, I think of each dollar that you make from an investment, consider the children of the main dollar that you had, right? If you had $10 and you invested it and you made $1 out of that $10, that dollar is a children of that $10, right? So what I'd like you to think about is you need to not only have that main investment making money, but all of its children continue to make money, right? So that children, that $1, I want you to make sure that is working for you, right? And then when it's working for you, it's going to produce a 10 cents, and that 10 cents should be working for you, right? And on and on and on, right? You can't just let that dollar sit in your bank account, right? Because inflation is going to kill it, right? So there are money market accounts where you can easily liquidate positions. You can, put money in treasuries and whatnot, right? If you think that you need money right away. But if you're going to have like $10,000 sitting around, not making any investments or not collecting any interest on it, you're going to be surprised that that's going to actually be worth less in 10 years than what it is right now. So going back to this, right? The way I look at it is just look at the household, right? What is it that you use every day, right? Most people nowadays, they're just have tons and tons of stuff that they buy, but they never look at what they're investing. Instead of buying that $80, $100 Nike shoes, take that $100 and invest it into the stock, right? Or for example, at Apple, right? You're gonna buy an $1,100 Apple or $1,200 Apple iPhone, and what's gonna happen? It's gonna depreciate immediately, right? It's never gonna go up. It's gonna depreciate. But if you had taken it and just bought a used Apple for, let's just say, $800, right, and you invested the other $1,200 back into the stock, in the long run, that stock is going to give you dividends, right? So let's take a look at how to determine this, right? You just type in Apple here and the ticker symbol, and then this shows up. You look at the dividend section, and it'll say, okay, it's being paid quarterly, so every 3 months, depending on the schedule, it changes and pays out an X amount, right? So this one pays out an annual $1, right? So every quarter you're getting 25 cents out of that dollar that you invested in, okay? And it kind of gives you all the dates that it actually declared it. Last quarter, just the other month, last month, we got 25 cents, but then the previous quarter, at 24 cents. Right, so you'll see how much it's been paid, and overall, generally, kind of gives you an idea. Back in 2013, it was paying only 9 cents. All right, now if you take a look at, let's just Microsoft, right? Look at the chart on Microsoft. Let's see on the dividends. This one is paying $3 on an annual basis, right? So look at the last quarter. You got 75 cents. So it kind of gives you an idea, right? So what I wanted to show you is, even if you just kind of take the dividends that you get every month and you reinvest it back in, it's going to just compound over and over and over again, right? And so what I wanted to show you is my portfolio of all of my holdings, right, for my kids. And so the reason why I personally I'm not doing this on my account is because I'm trading every day, right? I'm trading and making those trades, and so my risk profile is different from my kids' risk profile, right? Right now, I'm just trying to save for them, and so when they go to college, they'll have some sort of, 10, 15 years from now, when they go there, they'll have some decent chunk for them to spend, whether it's for room and board or whether they need a car, right? And so that's the goal. And so when you add all your investments in here, it kind of summarizes your portfolio, right? I got 29 holdings, right? It tells you of all the different things, right? All the different ticker symbols. I've taken risks in ETFs, Bitcoin, ETFs, actual Comcast companies, right? Comcast, you got Dow, you got Home Depot, Johnson & Johnson, Altria Group. I'm not too fond of it, but look, I don't have that many, right? I got 2 shares. I got 53 of this MSFT option yield max, right? And then I do have 3 shares of Microsoft on this. Obviously, there's only 3 because, think about it, they're $400 a share. So you're roughly looking at about $1,300 just for this stock, this particular one, right? That I have, see, 1257. NVIDIA option ETF, sort of. I got 35 of those, and so it kind of totals up, right? If you kind of take a look at all of this, right? ExxonMobil, I have Verizon, right? A lot of different ETFs, some risk plays, right? Some real estate plays, Procter & Gamble, right? Remember I told you, look at what you use on an everyday basis, right? All right, Apple, Microsoft, I'm sure you have a computer. Majority of the people have computers. Majority of people working in corporate life are working on Microsoft products. If you have Apple, right, you're working on iPads and whatnot. Apple is another one, right, that I use. Home Depot, everybody uses Home Depot, right? Whenever they need something to fix the house, everybody goes to Home. Whether you hire somebody to fix stuff in your house, they're going to Home Depot, right? Johnson & Johnson has a lot of medical supplies and stuff, right? Things like that. Energy, right? Energy is one of those things that you need. Comcast is, internet service provider. People watching TV, right? NBC, whatever, right? People are using it, right? They're utilizing these services on a daily basis, and when they do that, you are consuming that stuff, right, every day, and so they're making money. And so why not take advantage of them making money and they're providing dividends? And so now if you look at it, my annual income on just this amount is $2,700. Just sitting there, I'm going to be making $2,700. Just in June alone, I'm going to get $300. Okay, that's yields almost 16%, right? Oh, 17%, right? Now, if you look at it on a weekly, monthly basis, I don't know if it's going to show you, but let me see if it can break down any further. I believe there's a way to break down payout. Okay, yeah, payout calculator. So look at this. It actually shows you future forecast of what's going to be paid out. Okay, now in June, I'm going to get paid out roughly about $160. In July, I'm going to get about 130-ish. Same thing, 125, 30. All of this, and then at the end of this, so let's see, at the end of this year, I'm going to get about 438, right? Just because I recently added all this stuff in the data. I don't have the previous historical data in here. But just alone in the next 12 months, though, however, I'm going to be getting 1,600, right? Based on all of these different numbers, right? And now again, look at the main portfolio on an annual income. I had to go back and see what that 2,700 number was. Let me go back to the main dashboard. Annual income shows up. It's a total income you can expect to earn based off of projected dividends data. Okay, so this is projected data, right? So not actual amount that's hit. So again, 16%, you're getting 16%. That's more than what you get from a bank account. Okay, guys, even if you took a little less risk, right? Say you didn't want to take all these high risks on these yields and whatnot, right? If you did not take that high risk on these other ones and just stuck to like Microsoft or Home Depot and Procter & Gamble, you may be down to, say, possibly 8%, which is still a lot better, guys. Think about it, a lot better than your average bank account, just money sitting there. Right? And if, for example, you use tools like Merrill Lynch or Schwab or any of those, they can certainly, liquidate easily, right? If you invest in good, high quality companies, you're going to be able to invest and make money in the long term, right? That you're going to be able to liquidate that position quickly, right? If you're going to invest into something shady where there's not a lot of liquidity, you're not going to be able to exit your positions, and you're not going to be, as quickly as you wish, right? But if you have these large name brands, right, that are giving you nice yield, right? Let's take a look at Dow, for example. So if you look at Dow, their dividend is $2.80. They're paying quarterly. Some of them, and mind you, look at this Bitcoin one. Again, I'm not recommending any of these specific ones. I'm just showing you for illustration purposes. But if you look at this ETF, their dividend pays out monthly. Okay, so annual income is $21 for me for just investing in. Let's see how much I have in this. How many shares? I have 2 shares. Right, again, this is a risky play, but I have 2. But out of that 2, because of the monthly, I'm going to be getting $21 from that 2 position, right? Okay, look at the yield on this. Obviously, again, very risky play, right? Because it's a Bitcoin. You don't know how much they're going to be paying, right? So look at this. They paid, and look, this is old data. You can see how much they paid in an entire year. In certain cases in last year, right? And they haven't, I don't know why they don't have the updated data, but this is obviously, again, if you had premium services for Dividend Tracker, you can get some additional data and some additional calculation and diversification and whatnot, right? They'll have some, additional information that you can unlock, right, if you have a paid version of this. But it's very interesting to have. I hope you can, take advantage of this. I'm going to leave a link on this video. Full disclosure, I will get a cut from it if you use my link. I appreciate if you do. Take a look, and happy to answer any questions that you may have. And this is a great tool to just kind of even look at when the last dividend was given, when the next one is going to be given. Hope you make some money. Save your hard-earned money by just getting some dividends out of your investments. Good luck. Thank you for watching PriceIsKing.com.